We're off to cricket today, and I thought maybe I'll have a crack at explaining what the 100 is, because I didn't know this, but it's actually not that commonly known. I think it's a very regional thing. I thought like anyone who knew cricket knew the 100, but maybe not. Essentially, it's just like the shortest form of cricket. There's a lot of complaints that cricket has lost a lot of its audience because it's not quick like football or rugby. And I mean, it makes sense if you're watching Test cricket, like that is slow. That's a game of working the game. It's you're not just whacking the ball to see how many hits you could get. Essentially, the 100 is you're watching two games. You're watching a men's game and a women's game, and each team hits 100 balls. So that means there's 4 sets of 100 balls being hit. Each game, the idea is the game is not meant to be more than 2.5 hours. So I think with the women they get 75 and men they might get 65. Don't quote me on that, but they both get like a time limit, and then there's penalties if they don't bowl the 100 balls within the time limit that they have. And it's played in the same way as normal cricket, like you get 4s, you get your 6s, you hit the ball and you run between the wickets, the stumps, sorry. And then you have things like power play, which means for the first 25 balls, you can only have two people, I think, outside a certain area of the pitch, which means that like it just encourages the people batting just to whack the ball. So the whole aim of it is just have a more exciting game of cricket, because the T20, my preferred one is ODI. I think that's a perfect length, because a T20 is a bit too long for it to just be like going to a football match or going to like something for the afternoon. Although I have done that before, but it's quite like a monster of one. You'd be like, you're hoping that the team, like if the team does badly, then it's all right. The first team, if the batters do like not too good, then it's fine, because it means that the second half or when they swap, it'll be a bit shorter. But realistically, it's quite a mammoth of a game if you think about it. ODIs, you know it's going to be long. It's your day. Like you're not going to watch it like it's the day out, or it is to me. Test cricket is you go with your friends for a lolly jolly and a chit chat. You're not going there to go see, like obviously you can have spectacular cricket and test, but it's much more about tactics and like pacing the game and having someone just to waste balls and get little runs, and it's really interesting to watch. But for me, you don't go watch it for a day. It's like on the TV, and you wander in and you wander out. I remember when I was like revising for my exams, test cricket was perfect because I could do like an hour of revision, then go watch like 20 minutes of a test, and it would be like a perfect, like enough had happened where it's interesting to try catch up, but it didn't feel like the game had turned, or rarely ever feels like the game has turned. Haven't chosen my shoes yet, but I'm on the hunt for denim skirts. I'm going to go into town to see if I can find one, and then hopefully I will. So I already have one. It's just not loose. There's no free flowing in it, and it's quite uncomfortable sometimes to wear. So, especially in the warmth. So I'm looking for a slightly looser one, because I did get that one when I was in like year 10. So I was, 15? And then I'm also, after that, we're going off to the cricket, which I'm excited for. But now, main event. I grew up diving, so this is like my creme de la creme. I love watching all the events like gymnastics and stuff. And to be honest, gymnastics is one of my favourite, because it sounds stupid, but I can run. Like it seems, I know obviously I could never be an Olympic runner in that sense, like, but I can do what they're doing, if that makes sense. I can run. Whereas with the gymnastics and the diving and like skateboarding and stuff as well, I just could never fathom in a million years I could do something like that, even as someone who grew up diving. I love the 3 meter synchro, because I was a 3 meter, that was my main one I did. So I love seeing how like it is at the top level, because synchro is incredibly difficult. I did it for about a year and I just could not do it. We watched the closing ceremony. I have some thoughts. I'll give it to you later because I'm tired. ultimately, I think doing it down the Seine, you lost the atmosphere of the stadium, which was obvious. And it was, I felt like it was catered towards the TV audience. It didn't feel like everyone was included. Like, obviously, I don't know, the people down the Seine saw like the minion side of it and the person with the torch running around different parts of South Paris, which is really cool. But like, does everyone see that? Like, that, if you know what I mean? It felt like they catered towards TV, and it's like, I don't know, it feels like this is the Olympics in Paris for the Parisians, just like in London it was for the Londoners. Like, we were included in everything. I don't know how to explain it, but I'll talk about it a bit more later. I can delve into it. I feel like I'm analysing a book. I couldn't help myself.
Yo, he wanna get involved with you. It's the S-A-double-D-I-Q. Yo, he wanna get involved with you. It's the S-A-double-D-I-Q. Yo, he wanna get involved. Met this girl walking in the ghetto.